I'm Noemie, and along with my partner Remi, we became the Wildcrafters. After building ourselves a tiny house, then a log cabin, we went on a 3-month trip during the pandemic, living the van life up north in a little teardrop camper we also made from scratch. These days, we are bringing you on a different path by challenging ourselves to make a unique and beautiful Airbnb from an old abandoned house. All that in 2 months, my friends. Hold on tight, because this is gonna be a wild ride. As we began our 3rd week renovating the old house, we started to notice some changes around us. Springtime brings this energy of novelty, and we felt like spending more time outside and just reconnecting a bit more with the natural world. But as you probably noticed, we have plenty to do in a pretty big project we are working on. This means we often don't take the time to assess those needs that comes up, and we tend to hyper-focus on this one project instead of having a more balanced lifestyle. This had to change, and this is why we wondered if it was possible to both reach our weekly goals with this house makeover, while also having a healthier work-life balance. Turns out this isn't an easy thing, and I feel like we are probably not alone in the search for this equilibrium while being our own bosses. We live in this hustle culture that kinds of rewards us for hard work and being ultra productive in any minute of the day. And Remi and I are also guilty in a way of perpetuating that toxic mentality sometimes. But we want to break loose from that, and this week was a good experiment to see if we could still make things happen while also nourishing other parts of our lives in a more intentional way. Oh, of course, things came up, like this floor you were watching us installing. This wasn't the original plan for the 2nd floor, but the situation here makes it so building materials are extremely hard to find, and the prices just went up so much that we had to find solutions. Truth is, the beginning of this week was very much about still hustling our way through. Changing old behaviors, even if you know it's for the better, still can take time, and when problems arise, our first instinct is to go right back into our old ways, working late and still thinking about the work when we finally get back home.
Je sais pas. Toi, tu veux faire quoi?
Mon plan, moi, c'était de la prendre là puis la tasser. But about halfway through this week, we started to have a bit more work we could do outside and also days we could work from home again. And it reminded us that life is about those little blissful moments we often take for granted in our day-to-day life, but are cruelly missing in our lifestyle right now. Yet, I can't deny how well this house makeover is coming along, and it is partially because we do sacrifice a lot of time to work hard, and with all we have on it, I just can't seem to find the sweet spot where I feel satisfied with what we accomplish without feeling totally drained out of my substance. Fortunately, we can listen to a very joyful speech every time we get back home these days.
Tibi? Tibi.
One thing that I often forget is that, as cliche as it sounds, being in close contact with nature is vital for human beings. I am particularly sensitive to the lack of it, and it's not possible for me to feel balance if I don't hold any space to get that need met. But with the river starting to flow free from the ice, we just couldn't help but take breaks to appreciate the glorious sun and the freshness of spring. It was exactly what we needed.
Ah, ça graffe bien. Oh! Ah! La dernière fois qu'on s'est baigné, on était là-dedans. Oh! Il y a comme un vent.
Lui nous envoie des glaçons. There is nothing like having an ice bath in the middle of the day to reset your whole mood and give you an energy boost. It kind of replenishes my soul every time I do it, and this is something I want to keep doing more often. I feel that when I take this time, I am left with surprisingly more energy, and I feel willing to work without it taking so much from me. After being refreshed, we worked on a very unique feature of the house that was really exciting for all of us, and it also was an overall very pleasant day doing more of what we love, and it felt good not being so conventional in our renovations.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais, Timo? Qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Timo!
Es-tu satisfaite? Est-ce que je peux découper?
Je pense que c'est de la croûte, j'ai coupé en dernier. Ça.
We all felt inspired to add an actual tree coming through our kitchen island to support the ceiling instead of the ugly post that was there before. We thought it would add something special to that space, and I had a blast working on that.
Ah ouais.
Even though we took it a bit easier at the end of the week, I decided to stay at home Friday even though I was supposed to come along and give a hand at the house with the guys. It was that time of the month, and I catch myself often feeling guilty of not keeping up with work during those times. The reason why I tell you this is I think this is probably common amongst women, and I wish for my daughter to be free of that when she will grow up. I want her to respect her body and its monthly rhythms, and the only way for me to make it happen for her later is if I first make it happen for myself. Thinking about what I wish for her always leads me to what I should do for myself as a role model. Maybe we could use that to figure out how to be gentler on ourselves overall by asking us a simple question. Would I wish that for someone I love? So overall, did we manage to find more work-life balance this week? I don't know. I think this is a process, and with each new project, we get closer to that. I also think that asking myself this question will definitely help me gain a new perspective on the pressure I often put on myself to be productive all the time. I don't wish that kind of pressure for the people I love, so maybe it's time to let go of that. And also, after reflecting a bit about that subject, I think we could definitely use a bit of time to wind down and have some fun. I wish you all a wholesome and lovely week. T'es belle. T'es content. T'as encore de la peinture dans la face. Moi, j'ai acheté un piano. Même si j'ai pas le temps.